Hello, students. Welcome to the online lecture series of St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management, Gurugram. Myself, Satendra Vats, Assistant Professor in ETCE Department. So today, our topic is finite state machines. We will see Moore model and Mealy models of FSM and how to design a sequence detector using FSM. So it is a topic in digital electronics and a very important topic in digital electronics. So let's start. Finite state machines. So what is a finite state machine? It is also called finite state automata, and it is nothing but a mathematical model of computation to implement some sequential logic circuit. So we have seen that we can implement or design sequential circuits using flip-flops like counters, shift registers, and uh, and so on. So it is one more method to implement sequential logic circuit. It is an abstract machine that can be in exactly one of the finite states at any given time. So we will see how can we split a system in some of the finite states so that the system would remain in a state at a particular point of time. It can change its states on uh, according to the inputs given to it. So FSM can change from one state to another in response to some inputs. Okay, so FSM can change from one state to another in response of inputs. So state change would depend on the input we are giving to the system, and this transition from one state to another, we will see how we design our systems using the transitions, which is nothing but the change of state. Okay, so we might have seen some examples of FSMs in our daily life as well. Like you must have seen the token vending machines at metro stations, Delhi metro stations. So, or elevators or traffic lights. So these are some of the examples of FSMs, finite state machines. So in a vending machine, we provide some inputs in the form of like a combination of notes like a 5 rupees notes or 10 rupees notes, and working on that inputs, the machine provide us with some product like a chocolate or something like that. Or if it is a token vending machine, it will provide the tokens depending on the inputs. Okay, or traffic light can be in one of the three states only, like it can be red or it can be green or it can be orange at a one instant of time. So these all are examples of finite state machines. So these are synchronous sequential circuits, that is, they work on the application of a clock signal. When the clock signal is high, only then there will be a change of state. Otherwise, if the clock signal is low, the system would remain in the same state until and unless the clock is applied. Okay, guys. So an FSM consists of combinational circuits to provide output and the next state logic. So how would the states changes in a FSM? Uh, we have a combinational circuit for it, and also for the output logic we have a combinational circuit, and as it is a sequential circuit, it must consist of a memory element, that is a flip flop, that is used to save the state of the system. So in which state our system is, it is saved in the memory element, which is built by flip-flops. Okay, so we have basically two types of FSMs, that is a Moore circuit and Mealy circuit. These are basically the two important types of finite state machines, and we will see how we design a system using these models. So as we have already seen, the FSM consists of a combinational circuit for next state and a combinational logic circuit for the output and a memory element to store the state. Okay, so here first we will see the Moore state machine. So in these type of model, in Moore state machine, the output of the system is a function of only the present state, that is in which the system presently in, which state our system presently is in. So it output depends only on the present state, and it does not depend on the inputs. It only depends on the present state. So this is the diagram of a Moore machine. As we can see, the output depends only on the present state, which is stored in the memory element. Okay, so let's see it in here. In this circuit we have the next state logic, which is used to calculate the state in which the system would be after applying the inputs. So when we apply certain combination of inputs, and if the clock is high, the state of the system would change. And how we can calculate it, it would depend on this next state logic. Okay, also we have the output combinational logic. In Moore circuit, the output depends on present state only and not on the inputs. So it will be a combinational logic that is depending on the present state. And the third part is the memory, which stores the state. So this is a diagram of a Moore state machine. And this is a very important topic from the point of view of semester examinations. So you must do it properly and carefully. So here we have an example in terms of T flip-flop of Moore machine. Here we can see the output logic. It is implemented using this sequential circuit. Okay, and the next state logic is implemented using this combinational logic. It will calculate state for us, in which state the system would be if we provide a combination of inputs. So since it is an example of a Moore machine, the output depends only on the current state. That is, our output is, as we can see, our output is y is equal to QB bar, which is coming from this flip-flop, and plus QA, which is this. So our where QA and QB will decide the state, next state. As we have seen, it is the memory part which will store the state for us. So the output depends only on the state, that is QB bar plus QA. We will see later in this lecture how we can implement this output and next state logic using a flip-flop. Okay, so output depends only on the present state, and it is not depending on the input, that is this value A. It is not depending on this. So output depends only on present state. Okay, now let's move to the Mealy machine. So in mealy machine, the output is the function of present state as well as the input state. The output depends on both the values of present state and the input as well. So here we have the diagram of a mealy machine. The next, state combinational logic. Then we have the memory to store our states, then the combinational circuit for output logic. And as you can see here, the output depends on the present state and the input as well. So in mealy machines, output depends on both inputs and the current state. Here we can see in the example as well, the output y is a combination of qb bar plus qa plus a, which is the input. So output depends, sorry, here the output depends on the input as well. So output depends on both the current state and the current input. So this is the basic difference between a Moore and a state Mealy state machine. Now let's see the state diagrams for Mealy and Moore. So what we have in a state diagram, we have certain number of states. Like in this example we have 4 states, that is 0 0, 0 1, 1 0 and 1 1. These are the states. So we can also denote it by S naught. S naught is equal to 0 0 first state, S1 is equal to 0 1, S2 is equal to 1 0 and S3 is equal to 1 1. So we have 4 states in this particular diagram. It can be less or it can be more than that as well, depending upon the system. So how it works, let's see. In this, the system can be in any of these 4 states depending upon the inputs, and this is called the transition lines. These lines are the transition lines. Okay, and on these transition lines we denote the represent input and output values, as we can see in the diagram here. This is the input and this is the output. Okay, this is denoted on the transition lines. Like now try to understand it. If our system is in state 1 initially, that is 0 0, if our system is in state 0 0 initially, and if we provide it with input 1, then output will be 1, which is denoted here. Output will be 1 and it will sorry, it is going like this. Okay, if it is in state 0 0, then if I will provide the input 1, that is in this transition, input is 1 and output is 0. So it will move to the next state, that is state 3. It will move from S0 to S3. Okay, if I will provide, let's see once again, if I provide input 1 and output is 0, the system will move to state 2. Now state 3, that is 1 1. Now if I provide input 1 over there, in which output is 0, the system would remain in state 3. If I provide input 0, output is 0, the state system would move to state 1 0. Now if it is in state 1 0 and I provide it input 1, then it will remain in the state 1 0, that is state 10 is state 2. Okay, now if I provide it input 0, then it will move to the state 1. Similarly, if it is in state 1 over there and I provide it with input 1, then it will move to the state first, that is 0 0. It will move to the initial state, and if the input is 0, it will remain in the same state, that is 0 1. So in Mealy machine, in Mealy machines we provide both the input and the output on the transition. We denote both the input and output on the transition line, and these circles contains only the name of state, that is S0, S1, S2 and S3. The circle contains only the states, and the output and inputs are denoted on the transition lines. So now see the Moore state. Moore state, we have state. In this, what is the difference is the transition lines only used to denote the inputs, and the output is now come under the circle with the state, as you can see over there. This is the state 2 and the output is 0. We have put the output inside the circle. Okay, so in each state output would be in the circle with state, and the transition lines only contains the input. So as we can see in this example, the circuit would remain in state 1 if the input is 0. It moves to state 3 if input is 1. Then if it is in state 3, it remains in 3 if input is 1 and moves to state 0 if input is state 2 if input is 0. Similarly, if it is in state 2, it will remain in state 2 since if input is 1. If input is 0, it will move to the state 1. Similarly, we can see how it will transit from one state to another on the application of input, and the output is denoted inside the circle. This is the basic difference between a Mealy state diagram and a Moore state diagram. So in Mealy machines, output depends on both the present state and present input, and Moore machine, the output depends only on the present state. Now let's try to understand this problem with a sequence detector, which is also in your course, sequence detector. We will now see how we can implement a sequence detector using an FSM, that is a finite state machine. So what is a sequence detector? It is nothing but a sequential circuit also, in which we will provide a bit of stream. And get a certain output which will be high for a certain sequence. That this output y will be high for a certain sequence. So the stream of bit has been fed as an input. The stream of bit has been fed as input when the clock is high. It will work only when the clock is high. If the clock is low, the sequence detector will not detect any sequence. Okay, so the output would be high whenever a particular pattern or sequence is detected in the stream of bits we have fed to it, and it becomes low again when the pattern becomes when the sequence has passed, the particular sequence has passed, the output would become 0 again. So let's see an example here. It is a very important example. So in this we have to design a sequence detector. Okay, we have to design a sequence detector to detect 3 or more consecutive ones, that is 1 1 1. This sequence we have to detect, or it can be 1 1 1 1, because we are given that 3 or more consecutive ones in a string of bits. So we have to detect this pattern, that is 3 ones or more than 3 ones simultaneously or consecutively. So let's say our bit stream is this one. X is equal to 0 0 1 1 1 0 1 1 1 1 0. This is the bit stream we are feeding to the detector. So output would be high only when the machine detects 3 consecutive ones. Okay, so when it will detect the output, when so first bit is 0, the output remains 0. Second bit is 0, so output remains 0. Similarly, the third bit is 1, so still the output is 0. Fourth bit is 1, still our output is 0. Now when this fifth bit becomes 1, that is we received 1 1 1, the output becomes 1, as you can see in the output y. This is we are considering with overlapping also. Okay, if overlapping is allowed, means let's see. So for the third one we get the output 1. Now again it's 0, so output again becomes 0. Now uh, input is 1, it remains 0. Again input is 1, it remains 0. When three ones are consecutive ones are there, the output becomes high again. And now the fourth bit is also 1, so it will, as overlapping is allowed in this case, so it will count the last bit as well. So again 1 1 1 is 3 ones are there, so output would remain 1. Now as the last bit is 0, the output becomes 0 again. If no overlapping is allowed, then output would be this one. It would be 1 when 3 bits are detected there, and it would be 1 when 3 bits are detected here. And as we can overlapping is not allowed in this case, it will, let's see, overlapping is not allowed, it will count only 2 ones, so it becomes 0 again. So if non-overlapping, the output would be this one, and if overlapping is allowed, output will be this one. So we will see the overlapping one in the example. So let's see. Let us first decide the number of states our sequence detector can be in at a particular instant of time. So if the pattern starts, and that is in the reset mode, the first state is reset state, that is it can get a 0 or a 1, but it will await to get 3 ones. In state S0, it will await to get 3 1. Now let us assume that our sequence detector has detected 1, that is 1 has been detected. So system would move from S0 to S1, and it has now 1 1, so it will await to get 2 ones. If it gets 1 again, then it will move to state 2. But if in case it doesn't get as 1, it will remain in state 1. Similarly, if in the state 2 it gets a 1 again, then it will move to state 3. In state 3 it will become triple 1, that is triple 1, and the output would be 1. In all these states, output would be 0. As soon as the system reaches state 3, when it detects 3 consecutive ones, the output would be high, that is 1, y would become 1. So we will generate a state diagram for that. So we would generate an state diagram. Okay, this is the state diagram. Here in this is the state diagram of the sequence detector. As we have seen, it can be in 4 states: S0, S1, S2, S3. So we can assign binary numbers to these states. State S0 would be 0 0, state 1 would be 0 1, state 2 would be 1 0, and state 3 would be 1 1. So we have denoted it by binary numbers. Okay, now see how can the states be changed. So if it is in state 1 initially, if we get a 0, it will remain in state 0 S0, because we need a 1. As soon as it gets input 1, the output would remain 0, because we are implementing it using a Mealy machine, in which on the transition line both input and outputs are represented. If it gets a 1, output would remain 0, but the state would change to state 1. State 1 is 1 is detected. So if it is in state 1, if I get a 0 after that, it will go back to initial state, and if I get a 1 again, that is 2 ones, it will move to state 2. Similarly, if in state 2 I get a 0, it will go back to initial state, and if I get a 1, this means we get 3 ones, it will move to state 3, and the output in this case output would become high. In this case, if we get a 1, the system would move to state 3, and the output would also become 1. Now at S3, if I get a 0, it will move to the initial state. Or if I get a 1 again, that is, we have now 1 1 1 4 ones. So as the overlapping is allowed, it will remain in the state 3. If again 1 comes, it will remain in state 3, and the output would remain high. As soon as we get a 0, it will move to the initial state, and output would become 0. So this is how our system will work. It will be in one of the 4 states at a particular time. Now let's design the state table for it. So we have represented, as we have 4 states, so we will have, here we have QA and QB, which can be used to represent our state, that is 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. So we need 2 bits to represent our states in binary form, as we have 4 states. So 2 bits QA and QB are required. So it would be in one of the following states at particular interval of time. X, our input bit is X, input stream is X, so it can be 0 or 1. Input can only be 0 or 1. So for a particular state, we have 2 choices. Like if it is in 0 0, in state 0 0, so input can be 0 or 1. If it is in state 0 1, input can be 0 or 1. If it is in state 1 0, again input can be 0 1, and if it is in third state, that is 1 1, input can be 0 1. So we will have 4 into 2, that is 8 combinations of input and present states. So we have 8 combinations. Next state, so it can move from S0 to S3 or S1 or S2. So we have denoted it by QA, QB plus, QA plus, QB plus. This will represent our next state. So we have, these are the following states which we have calculated from the state diagram. Now let's see, if it is in state initial state 0 0, and if input X is 0, this one, so our next state would be the same, as we can see over there. If our state is 0 0 and input is 1, so it will move to state 1. Similarly, if it is in state 1 and input is 0, it will go back to initial state, that is 0 0. If input is uh, state is 0 1, that is state 1. If we have 0 1 state, that is state 1, and our input is high 1, so it will move to state 1 0, that is state 2, and the output would remain 0. As we know, the output would become high only when we get 3 ones. So once the state change to 1 1, that is state 3, the output would become high. Similarly here, if it was in state 3 and input is 1, then it will remain in state 1. So this is how we have calculated the truth table. So first we will design the state diagram. First we would design the state diagram and then convert it into a truth table representing the next state logic and the output logic, which depends on next state depends on the present state, and the input and the output also depends on the input and present state, as it is the Mealy model. Okay, now what we can do is we can get the logical expression for these states, that is QA plus, QB plus and Y. So we have three outputs, QA plus, QB plus and Y. So by using K-maps we can get the logical expressions. Here I have calculated the logical expression. As we have three inputs, we will have a 8 cell K map in which input is QA, QB and QX. So this is, you all know how to calculate the logical expression using K maps. So I have paired them here, as QA is high at this point and this point, which I have shown you in the K map. So pairing, and we would calculate the minimal expression or the logical expression, that comes out to be QA plus QB into X. Similarly, we can calculate for QB and Y. Okay, similarly we can calculate using the truth table. Okay, over here from this table we can calculate QA, QB and Y's expressions using K maps. And now we will implement this sequence detector using the D flip-flops. So as we have 4 states and we require 2 bits, that is 0 0 or 0 1 or 1 0 or 1 1, to represent our states we need 2 flip-flops, because one flip-flop will store 1 bit. So we need 2 flip-flops to store the state of the system. So we are using D flip-flops, and we all know in D flip-flops next state, that is Qn plus 1, would be, if it is input 0, then Qn plus 1 would be 0, and if it is 1, then it would be 1. That is the next state Qn plus 1 would be equal to D. This we all know from our learning of flip-flops. Okay, the next state is always equal to the input. So here we have next state as QA plus 1, QB plus, QA plus, QB plus. As we need 2 flip-flops, so we would say DA is equal to QA plus and DB is equal to QB plus as the output. Next state is equal to the input provided. DA is the input for flip-flop 1, DB is the input for flip-flop B. So we have already calculated the expression of QA plus and QB plus. So let's see here. DB would be equal to this, and we have calculated the expression for Y, which comes out to be QA into X. As it is a Mealy machine, the output depends on the present input, present state, and the input as well, that is X. The output depends on both. If it was a Moore circuit, the output and the X would not be there in the output. So we now place two flip-flops. Okay, DA is the input of first, DB is the input of second, and we have already calculated the function DA and DB and Y. So I have forgot to connect it. It will be like this. Input would be DA and the second input would be DB. So DA is nothing but, let's see, we have this DB is QB bar plus QA into S. So DB bar will be QB plus QA, and QB plus QA will be implemented using a OR gate and multiply X. So we will use an AND gate and multiply X into it and feed it to DB. So DB is QB bar plus QA into X. Similarly, what is DA? DA is QB plus QA and multiply by X using this AND gate. Okay, and our output is, what is our output? Our output is, output we have calculated QA into X. So we will use an AND gate, and one input is X and another input is QA. So output would be QA multiply X. So this is how we can design any sequential circuit using FSMs. I hope you understand it. So it basically has three steps. First we will have to design the state transition diagram, state diagram. Then we will make the state table from this, and then from implement, then in last we will implement the system using flip-flops by using the logical expression for next states and the output. So thank you guys, this is for this lecture. Thank you very much.